Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are jumping right into the most important developer updates for Business Central's 2024 Release Wave 1, version 28. If you're an Al developer, this is for you.
So, this update isn't just some random list of features. It's a really deliberate, strategic move by Microsoft. We're going to organize this whole explainer around three core themes: performance, modernization, and productivity. Because that's what really tells the story of where this platform is going.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with those big strategic shifts, making things faster and updating the platform. Then we'll drill down into the practical tools, and we'll wrap up with a checklist you can start using right away.
Okay, let's kick things off with that first theme, performance. This is all about making your apps run faster, smoother, and just handle way more data without breaking a sweat.
We've all been there, right? A user complains a list page is taking forever to load, and it's always a major pain to figure out why. Well, version 28 takes a direct shot at one of the most common reasons this happens.
What we're looking at here is a huge shift in how flow fields are calculated. See, the old way, Business Central calculated a flow field even if the column wasn't even visible on the page. In v28, it's way smarter. The calculation only kicks in when the field is actually being shown to the user.
And the ripple effect of that one change is the crucial part. It means fewer trips to the SQL Server, which directly translates to faster page loads. And for your clients with those massive data sets, this makes things way more scalable. And you didn't have to rewrite a single line of code. It's just a huge win for performance.
But what about when you do need to hunt down those bottlenecks yourself? Well, to help with that, the Performance Profiler got an upgrade. It now gives you a much clearer, more structured process to follow, from capturing the data all the way to pinpointing the exact ASL code or queries that are slowing you down.
And this takes performance tuning to a whole other level. You can now pull deep insights from SQL telemetry straight into Azure Application Insights. This lets you see how your extensions are behaving in a real live production environment, so you can optimize your code based on what's actually happening, not just guesswork.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about our next theme, how the platform is evolving. This part is all about adapting to the new architecture. And trust me, there are some major out with the old, in with the new changes you absolutely have to know about.
And I'm not exaggerating when I say this is a big one. One of the biggest changes in v28 is the complete removal of a core component that developers have relied on for years. If your extensions touch pricing at all, you really need to listen up.
So for a little bit of context, the legacy pricing engine was the original, baked-in way Business Central handled all its price and discount logic. I mean, it's been around forever, and tons of customizations have been built right on top of it.
And now, it's gone. Not just deprecated, not just on its way out, it's been completely ripped out. The new, much more flexible price list architecture isn't optional anymore. It is the only way to do pricing from now on.
So why does this matter so much? Well, any extension or integration that's referencing old tables like sales price or sales line discount is going to break. Simple as that. You have to go through your code units, find any custom price or discount logic, and migrate it to the new framework.
Okay, let's talk about another part of this modernization push, one that solves a really old headache for developers. I'm talking about customizing role centers and profiles, which, as you know, could get super messy during upgrades. So here's the deal. The old way, you had to copy an entire base profile and then make changes to your copy. It was a maintenance nightmare. Now, you can use something called profile extension objects to just modify the base profile directly without having to duplicate anything.
The big takeaway here is that this is just a much cleaner, more structured way to work. It makes changing role centers way more sustainable. Upgrades become so much easier and less risky because you're not trying to manage some fragile copy anymore. You're just applying your changes like a clean layer on top of the original.
All right, on to our final theme, the productivity boost. This is all about the new tools and features designed to just make your day-to-day life as a developer easier and a lot more efficient. Let's run through three really practical enhancements. First, you can now package resource files, like config data, right inside your extension, which makes deployment way simpler. Second, you can add better metadata to your pages and actions so users can actually find them through search. And finally, you can upgrade existing sandboxes to preview versions, letting you test for compatibility much, much earlier. And of course, your primary tool, Visual Studio Code, gets some love too.
Now, none of these are earth-shattering on their own, but when you put them all together, it adds up to a much smoother experience. Better debugging, faster simple downloads, and easier navigation just mean you can handle those big, complex projects a lot more efficiently.
And you knew this was coming, right? It wouldn't be a Microsoft update if we didn't talk about AI. Microsoft is really pushing its AI strategy by weaving these AI-assisted workflows directly into the development process for Business Central.
So these new tools are designed to let AI agents basically act as your code developer. Imagine an AI that can scan your AL code and suggest improvements, or just automatically generate documentation for you. The goal is to offload all that repetitive work and boost your productivity so you can focus on the hard stuff.
Okay, so let's bring it all home. Here is your quick and dirty checklist for v28. Think of this as your immediate to-do list. First thing, and I mean first thing, audit all of your pricing logic. After that, check your list pages for FlowField performance. Profile any code that's super sensitive, update your captions for search, and most importantly, test everything in a sandbox first.
At the end of the day, this update sends a really clear signal about where the platform is going. It's getting faster, it's getting more modern, and it's getting more productive. And that leaves you with one crucial question to think about as you get ready to upgrade. Is your code ready? Thanks for joining this explainer.